Hey there, friends. Good Sunday morning to you. I hope you're having a bright, sunny Sunday morning. We're having another one of those droopy, drowsy kind of days where the sun's just not making it out. She's tired. She's just not making it out much lately. I hope that all of you are having a good day. I am getting ready to do some chippies. Now you can see that I have just a little stack of things to work with here. I also have my, we'll just call this my quilted words, because I took a Tim Holtz word sheet that I had used most of the things from and just turned that kind of into my own DIY kind of cobbled together word sheet here. And then I have some chippies that I've already done, which I'll show and tell you at the end of the session. I have a few chippy blanks to work with. These are just things that I cut from from food packaging and things like that. So we've got this little bit. The thing that I'm missing here is I am missing any sort of, I need background papers. So I thought I would just kind of break out my flow journal this morning and see what kind of interesting magazine pages I could find in here to use for chippy backgrounds. I'm already starting to add some things that I've found to my flow journal. Now, a cool thing about a flow journal, well, there's a lot of cool stuff about it, but it allows you to, like if you have if you have like a little pile of things that you want to file or you want to keep or you don't quite know what to do with, then a flow journal is just a great way to be able to call your pile. I ran across this in an old work journal. It says your job is to surprise and delight. And to change the agenda, your job is to escalate, reset expectations, and make us delighted that you are part of the team. I just thought that was super cool. I'm not in, corporate America anymore. I don't own a business anymore, but I just thought that was super cool. I also found a bit of funeral ephemera, which I love funeral ephemera. I know that sounds macabre or strange, but there's just something about it that I gravitate to. And maybe, that's just kind of that dark place in my personality. Although I don't see death as a dark thing, I see death as a new life. In memory of Captain Orestes F. Taylor, the beloved husband of Mary E. Taylor, who fell asleep in Jesus, I love that, on Monday, the 28th of April, 1902. At Suriname, deeply mourned. So I love that little piece of funeral ephemera that I ran across. I also found a death announcement from 1948, so I really do love that as well. So I'm just going to stick those things into my flow journal. Now, the aforementioned background things that I'm kind of looking for, I think I'm going to take out a bit of text, because text always makes a really good background for whatever you're doing. And then maybe some map. Map imagery is always good background imagery. Let's see if there's anything else that I could kind of pull out of here and use for a background. Just kind of flipping through, see what I see. And this might be enough because I'm not really making a whole lot of chippies. So we'll just go with that. Chris and I watched, Chris and I watched The Social Dilemma last night. And I think that that's kind of, I thought I would hop on here real quick and just kind of let you know sort of what I thought about that and what he thought as well. It was an eye-opener, especially if you have, now this, I cut this from the cover of a magazine, so to me I already have some background going here, but what I'm looking for is I'm looking for these bits and bobs right here. And what I'll do is put some background imagery here, and then we'll use our focal imagery and we'll finish these up. If you are in my Patreon group, you guys know that you get a printable each week of a chippy session that I do during the weeks, which is fun. Gives you something very original and unique for your journals. I know that you guys have probably watched The Social Dilemma as well. I came to the whole cell phone thing quite late. I mean, I think I've had one since 2000, but, you know, we had that bulky big thing, and, of course, it didn't have, like, tracking information and that sort of thing. I believe that the whole tracking thing is, you know, Chris was talking about, after we watched the movie last night, he was like, well, you know, for kids having cell phones, that's, you know, neither one of us could really get behind a child having a cell phone. But then he said, you know, just imagine if, you know, if you were in the woods and you were on a bike trail and you fell off and, you know, you were hurt and nobody was around. You know, in the olden days, you would have no way to contact help unless somebody just kind of stumbled on you. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's, I mean, you definitely have a point there. And then he said, now, you know, if you are a kid and you got a cell phone, and I don't know a lot of children, I don't know a lot of kids, period, you could immediately call for help. And I was like, yeah, you know, and that would be super important, especially if you were, you know, had an injury where you were losing blood or something like that. And I just, I just didn't know quite what to make of the whole thing. I'm just stunned that that children are concerned about how many likes they're getting. Or, you know, there was a very appropriate part in the documentary about, you know, maybe she was 14 or so, and she was posting a photo of herself on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or whatever it is that the kids use. I do not use TikTok. I don't think that's healthy, but, you know, lots of people do. So that's just my opinion. And somebody commented that her ears were big. So she goes through this whole thing about her, you know, she looks at her ears. It causes her great upset that she might have big ears. It makes me concerned for kids. I just never went through that when I was a child. You know, we didn't have, I mean, we had bullying, you know, I mean, that's just kind of part of, you know, kind of part of growing up, to be bullied occasionally. I was bullied because I was small. You know, I was have always been very tiny. But I didn't take it as bullying. I just took it like my friends were making fun of me for being small. I didn't think about it. It didn't profoundly affect me. You know, I didn't want to kill myself because somebody said my ears were big, or, you know, you're a tiny person, or when are you going to grow up? Which, you know, that was the big one. You know, when are you going to grow up? You're so tiny. It's funny because even when I go home now, my mom goes, God, you are so little. It's like, no, Mama, I can't help it. But my mama's not bullying me. it made me concerned for us as human beings, but particularly for children. I just felt like it's concerning. If you haven't watched The Social Dilemma, it might be a good idea to, to watch it and to form your own opinions about social media. I'm not hooked to my cell phone all the time, even now. But there was a time that I was, because I was a booking agent. So if you're a booking agent and, a club owner has a cancellation, then you got to jump on that. You have to move quickly so you can route your band, So if my friend in Greenville all of a sudden had a cancellation, then I would need to hop on that immediately. And, so people could work. Same thing for Chris, who is a little more, now he's 11 years younger than me, and his technology level is a whole lot better than mine. He understands technology. He grew up with technology, particularly games, video games and things like that. And video games were something that my children did, not something I did. So, but same thing with him, because he's in touch, because he performs, and he has to be sure that he's in touch with, club owners who might have an opening or a cancellation or a last minute show. So he does have to pay attention a little more to his phone than I do. I would not be on social media at all were it not for my freelance things, which pretty much in 2019 kind of completely dried up. I know, they just went away. So anyway, I thought it was well done. I thought the experts were actual experts and had a lot of, astute observations. The people that they interviewed were people who actually were with Facebook, were with Twitter, were with TikTok, were with Instagram, and kind of started and cultivated those companies. And now it's like, oh my gosh, what have we done? So it's very interesting. Just a really good movie. A good look at what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I'm not sure about the why. I'm confused about that part of it. Okay, so we have some backgrounds on our little set of Chippies here. Still a little sticky, but that will go away as we're working on them. So what I did was I took a couple pages from my flow journal and was easily able to quickly make backgrounds for my Chippies. just another great way that the flow journal kind of expedites your art. It, so you don't, you don't get into the, bins of magazines and images. A lot of us have, I remember when I had image folders and things like that, but I decided probably after about 6 months of using that it did not quite work for me. It might work for you. We are all different, my friends. What works for you doesn't work for someone else. I really did love running across this bright blue glittery paper. Isn't that fun? And I thought, well, make some fun Chippies right there. I think I had my little Chippy bin. I have not been using my small Chippy bin, and I'll show that to you real quick if I can locate it fast. Yes, right here it is. Because I have been using my scraps as I process them. So there's been no need to put them back into the chippy bin because I've been going through them really, really quickly. All right, let's choose some images to go on these chippies. I love this little image. It's a cake and some cornbread and green onions. It just really does say South. And for this one, let's see what we have over here. This is just some little bits and bobs that, again, I pulled out of my little chippy folder there. I like all of that. I like cooking, anything that has to do with cooking in relation to maps. I was going to put that there, but now I'm seeing that I might have something else over here. Uh-oh, okay, not seeing my bit, but I'm changing my mind about this. I think I'll just glue that to this and use it in a minute on something. So we have this and this. You know, we've got a lot going on here anyway. We've got our glitter paper. We've got some text paper from a flow journal. We've got our map imagery from a flow journal. So if I don't find something real quick, then I might just put a word on that one. I love this because it's you know, it's got dogs on it. And I did leave this little edge. This is from Garden and Gun magazine, and I did leave the little edge on here that says August, September 2020 because I always think the dates are interesting. Let's see if we have anything. Again, oh, there we go, friend. Perfect. I took Mia for a walk this morning, and I'm like, it's just been so nice to walk, you know, because it's not, definitely not hot, but it's not cold either, you know? Not hot, not cold, kind of perfect. I love this knife going through here. I was thinking maybe the pot might fit, but I think that's a little big. Let's see. Let's try and find something. Hey, look, sacrifice your lunch hour. I like that one. And once you kind of put these on here with a little bit of a glue stick, they peel off really easily. And I guess because this is a, you know, a non-porous kind of background on these little chit-chat pages by Tim Holtz, you know, it just kind of makes the whole process really cool. Okay, so we just have a text here. Let's see what we can find to put on there. I kind of love these. And we've got some a cupcake imagery and flower imagery as well. So we'll just do like a little cupcake. Sorry, I seem to have like I have a croaky throat because we've just been cleaning a lot. It's kind of that time of year, right? See, that's cute. Let's see, what can we see here? Simple way, transparent, days and months. Make me a promise. I like that. Now, because I want to use this on a piece of text, then I feel like I need, you know, a little something. Now, this was something that I cut from a stationery magazine. So we'll just put "Make Me a Promise" right there, and then we'll... Chippies are great because you can use all your chippy bits and just make very interesting little things out of them for Happy Mail or use them as journal prompts. So we've got our map imagery here, our cover. of gardening gone. Let's see what we got here that we could put on here. This is some Farsi writing that I took off a package, a food package. I forget what was in the packaging. It was something that somebody had given me because they know I like food packaging. I'll kind of tilt that a little bit, and then I'm going to use homemade. No, I'm going to use recipes. When I taught English as a second language many years ago, it was one of the joys of my life to go to my children's homes and eat with them, you know, to experience that culture, to experience that kitchen, you know, the mom from India, you know, making chapati, and oh, it was just such a great experience. Still have another one of those. I feel like this has got a good bit going on. So, I think what I'll do, I am going to use the pot. Nice stock pot. My sons make their own stock, especially my younger son. He really loves to make his own veggie stock, and he keeps everything. But boy, does he make excellent vegetable stock. Both of my boys can cook, and they're better cooks than me. Lots better than me. Let's use the word homemade on that one. Let's see. This is a cutout from Popular Science 1929. And I love this soldier imagery. So I'm going to use that right there. It would be cool to find the word brave, but these are young men getting on an aircraft. So I'm going to use the word to fly away. That matches nicely. I was looking for the rest of that. I put it somewhere, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. I'm going to use the rest of this. I'm going to put Popular Science, and I can just use the rest of that image of the vintage aircraft and the young man aboard the aircraft right here. Isn't that pretty? That view of the sky is just gorgeous. Again, from a stationery magazine. The stationery magazine, the paper is super thin. So it kind of works out well. And I'm going to choose For We Carry the Heavens With Us. And one more. Let's see what we have here. I can go ahead and use this. Again, from our stationery magazine, just because it's a nice shape. It's botanical over a map, which is intriguing. Let's see. By the light of the moon, knowledge, the pretty little birds chirped. Feeling falling in favor of a little bit of everything. That's what the world is made of. Whether it's the social network or whatever. I also want to kind of show and tell you the ones that I made. Curious looking. This really worked well. This was the cover of one of those Tim Holtz Chit Chat word packs. And I just added a little piece at the top. Time is now. Office. Supplies. Few words passed between them. Time. Taking time. I love the way that one turned out. Fortunate and blessed. A sense of gratitude. We have rockers right there. Oh man, when I was stuck at LaGuardia Airport a couple years ago for like hours and hours and hours that I thought was going to stretch into days, my sister-in-law got me out of there. She works for an airline and she found me an out, which was amazing. And when I got to Charlotte, North Carolina, in the airport in Charlotte, there are white rocking chairs in that airport. And a rocking chair is a source of comfort, solidity, a gravitational pull. For me, a rocking chair is just a lot of things. So my sense of gratitude for seeing those rocking chairs, I actually burst into tears. It was like, oh my gosh. Guiding today. Sample a taste, support, social chatter, and future. So we've got those ready to roll, and now we have these ready to roll. Remember, my friends, that as far as that social network is concerned, it takes a little bit of everything to make all of us happy. And all of us contribute to that bit of happiness. We carry the heavens with us. And if we're in tune with our spirit, and if we're in tune with our divine mission, then we kind of learn to fly away from those, from those troubles that may separate us from our friends and make us feel like we made promises and maybe couldn't keep promises. Maybe you should sacrifice your lunch hour to read popular science or make a homemade recipe instead of using your lunch hour or blocks of time that you may have earmarked for other things. Instead of being on the phone, read, make something homemade, make a hot cup of tea, talk to someone not on your phone, talk to your dog or your kitty cat if that's the only person you got to talk to right now in these days of social isolation. I hope that your future is bright in the social chatter world where we all need support. We can sample a taste of everything in the world. Today is at our fingertips. Just remember your guiding stars. Thanks, y'all. See you later.